Alright, welcome back. Here's the video I promised from quite some time ago. This video was suggested, well, Predator, whatever you want to call it, was suggested by Heel Goth, so shout out to him. Yeah, so that's enough of the BS talk. Let's get right into it.
Over the peat bags again. What am I asking for?
Sorry. Hmm? Gotta love the just loud ass microphone just buzzing in your ears, and the ASMR. Just the what do I gotta do? What am I asking for?
You there? I'm gonna go up and get ready, okay?
Okay.
Now, one thing I'd like to point out is that this man does no knocking. He just walks right in, just strolls right on in, full, just confident, just bam, right there, in.
Wait at the bar for like 5 minutes and then follow me up, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so let me. This man, I swear, he's like a walking antonym. Bursts right in, just walked right in, no questions asked, but then just responds to a weak ass like, okay, oh yeah, okay, okay.
Do me a favor and just have a seat right over there on the other side of the bar.
The jacket was coming off. Chris walked in. The jacket immediately goes back on. Like, I'm so confused. Like, why? What's the need? Like, the, I don't get it. Like, you're not gonna be leaving. If you're not gonna leave immediately, why keep the jacket on?
How's it going?
All right.
Did you find a place to park okay?
Yeah.
What's your plan for tonight?
Nothing really.
Nothing really.
Now, I know I'm pulling on the low-hanging fruit here, but I do have to mention that his voice has drastically changed. And spoilers, it does not go back down. It goes up, and it stays up. Like, it's not like he was just startled and all of a sudden the voice was really high. Like, it's just consistent. And it's funny, you can hear in like the first few words of when you're talking, it was like, okay, and now it's like really, really high pitched. It's like he was trying to like lower his voice for the girl. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but it's still kind of funny.
Who'd you come here to meet?
Some girl.
Some girl whose name is what?
Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about this, but he walks in there and he said, Chris asks him like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And he gives the age-old Predator response of, nothing really. It's like there's always some variant of that, despite their situational guilt, let's call it. Like Stacy here doesn't immediately look guilty, but he still says that. But like someone like John Kennelly, whose cheeks were swinging in the breeze, immediately says something along those lines. It's just like umbrella term that they all just go with.
You can't even remember her
It's
name.
Amanda, I believe.
Also, some girl. He acts like he drove. I believe he says here he drove an hour, to smash, and you don't know her name. I don't know about that one. I don't know about all that.
Amanda? Sadie, maybe?
That was Amanda.
Yeah.
Oh,
And how old is this girl you came here to meet?
I believe she's 18.
And I'll have to stop you right there. It's another classic Predator line. I thought she was 18. Like, 90% of them just say that. It's like you gotta at least be like unique. Be like Jared Griffith, where he said 22 and he stuck with it. Right nose to the grindstone, stuck with it. I mean, it didn't really help him, but he still stuck with it. At least he was unique. He said 22 and stayed. He said, I'm staying.
18.
Mm-hmm.
And what made you think she was 18?
Because I thought she said she was 18.
You want to try again?
That's what I thought.
I love how he's just like, you want to try again? He's like, knows you're lying.
That's not what she told you, is it?
I don't know.
Well, you can say that,
Okay.
but I have the transcript of the conversation.
Okay.
I swear, at least half of what this guy says is just okay in a really quiet, pathetic voice.
And right up top, she says she's 15.
Oh, you hear that little beep there?
Okay.
How old are you?
Their camera equipment.
21.
21. And why did you think it was appropriate or legal to come here to meet a 15-year-old girl home alone?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
You gotta have a better answer than that.
I don't know. I really just like that. He was like, you gotta have a better answer than that. Come on. Like, you gotta have something.
I didn't think she was 15.
But that's not what it says here in the transcript of the chat. I read the whole thing, so you might as well just tell me.
I don't know. I really don't know. I thought she was 18.
What's that say right there? What is that?
15.
This is another thing I really do love when he just like whips out the paper, just flops it on the table and just points at it and goes, yeah, look, yeah, that's you right there. Read it. You don't remember? Read it right there. Proof is in the pudding. Look at it.
15, okay. Go ahead, sir.
I don't remember.
You don't, isn't that a little convenient that all of a sudden you're sitting here talking to me and you don't remember?
No, it happened probably last night.
Like the whole I don't remember line is such like a weak excuse to bet all your chips on. Like you gotta think of something a little bit more concrete that you're gonna walk out onto. It's just like it's just baffling that you're gonna go all in there.
Whole 24 hours ago.
So,
A lifetime.
I don't know if I'm wrong to say this, but if you can't remember the name of someone you're gonna come lay pipe on 24 hours later, I'd be nervous with you operating any sort of machinery at all.
Where did you come from tonight?
Lebanon.
I'm sorry?
Lebanon.
Say it again?
Lebanon.
And where's that?
Cincy.
In Cincinnati.
Well, so has to repeat Lebanon. I believe that's what he's trying to say.
How far did you drive?
I don't know, maybe an hour.
An hour. And what's your name?
Jeff.
Jeff, what's your last name?
Stacy.
Stacy.
And what do you do for a living, Jeff?
Work at a deli.
You work at a deli. And you often chat with...
Much less like any equipment, much less deli machinery. You got like sharp knives and saw blades there. Like you walk in, be like, I forgot how to use the equipment, and then you're missing 3 fingers.
with underage girls online?
Oh.
No.
Mm-mm.
So this is your first time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I hear that a lot.
I also hate. I don't even know how to say it, but like, he's always like, like these monotone, like, uh-huhs. And then, so he's like, so you do this all the time? He's like, like, actually puts passion into what he's saying there. Onto one thing you really should not have put passion into saying.
I would say, yeah, you probably do, but this is.
Oh, yeah.
This is what?
This is the first time I've ever met anybody offline.
Now, it seems like you're having some memory trouble tonight, so I'm going to remind you of some of the things you said in the conversation.
I also really love Christian's like points. I was like, it seems like you're having some miraculous memory loss at this point.
You ask her if she's a virgin.
I ask everybody all kinds of stuff. It's just talk.
Do you sleep naked?
What's wrong with what's asking questions?
Well, some of the questions are pretty graphic.
Oh yeah, they are.
You going to be naked when I show up? Legs spread and I will blank you right away.
Oh boy. Let's do a little bit of review of these statements. A TCAP recap, if you will. Don't worry, it won't be too long. The virgin and sleeping naked lines, they're basic, still creepy. Naked on arrival line, I think, is a bit more interesting because it may explain why he walked in and immediately lost all his confidence. He's expecting her to be there and legs spread wide open and ready. And when he walks in, he's like, "What is this? This is not what I bargained for. I put all my chips in, I bet everything that I was gonna come in, do the deed, and leave. I don't even know her name." Like, it's like, I don't.
Okay, so I said that stuff.
Then you say, "Oh, you're not a cop, are you?" Why did you ask if she was a cop?
Because I had people who were drug friends, and they say that if you ask that they have to tell you.
You have people who are what?
I used to have friends that were druggies, and that's what they said.
The classic, his good old druggy friends that give him questionable legal advice.
Druggies. So the druggies told you that if you ask over the internet if there are police, they have to tell you.
Yeah.
So that's what you did.
Mm-hmm.
And why were you worried that it might have been a police officer?
I ask everybody.
Just out of habit?
Yeah.
Well, doesn't it indicate?
It's just like, you're a very paranoid man if you ask everyone online if they're a cop. And like, I just love the enthusiasm that he responds with when Chris is just pointing these out. He's pointing out these creepy things, and he's like, yeah, I have asked everyone if they're a cop. I have druggy friends that told me they have to tell you. It's like, why? Like, yeah, shut out, yeah, in very excited tones. While someone reads your creepy online habits is not the greatest thing, my man.
That you're worried that if it was a police officer, you could get in trouble for what you were doing?
No, because I asked that to everybody.
To everybody. So you spend your time on the internet at night asking people whether or not they're cops, whether or not they sleep naked, whether or not you can perform sex acts on them.
It's just like right there. Proof of point. Just, yeah, absolutely. I asked everyone if they sleep naked, if they're cops. It's like, my God, man, it's just sad.
Hmm?
You do this all the time.
It's talking.
It's
Talking.
talking.
Yeah, but the difference tonight, Jeff, is that you went from talking to showing up at this house where you thought a teenage girl was home alone. An underage girl.
I didn't know
You didn't know what?
that she was underage.
I mean, Jeff not remembering brings on kind of an interesting thought. Like, how do you prove memory or lack thereof? I mean, in this case, obviously not, but for other cases, it would certainly be a conundrum. You'd have to try and prove, like, if they actually had recollection of the events. I mean, I'm sure there are certain ways of doing that, but it would be a little bit interesting.
Do you want to go through the exercise again where we talk about what age is right here in the chat?
No, because I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I don't remember seeing the age.
Then why were you so worried about whether or not this was a police setup?
Because I asked that to everyone.
He asked that to everyone.
You ask her if she's horny.
What's wrong with that?
If you ask if she does anal.
It's a question.
It's a question.
I know, but you're asking a question to somebody to identify themselves.
Again, I just have to say, like, I just want. It's really funny that he instantly responds positively when Chris is reading all this foul shit from his log, and before he was all like, "Oh yeah, okay," all like low tones, but it seems like, "Yeah, do you do anal?" It's like, "Yeah, I asked that. It's just a question."
As an underage girl, and in this state, depending on the circumstances, that is against the law. Do you get that?
It's against the law to say it on there.
It's against the law to solicit an underage girl for sex. Yes.
That's not what I... If that's what it was, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
You also sent this picture of yourself.
Yes, I know.
That's you. And then you sent these pictures too.
Ooh, these
Yeah.
pictures.
Who are they? What's all that?
What's all that?
Pictures.
Just phony pictures. Well, how come you cut the heads off?
I didn't. I just found them that way.
And you
So apparently, from what I could find, what he did was he took pictures of like buff dudes and cut off their heads and like put his head over the buff dudes.
were trying to make believe that was you, or what was the
Yeah.
purpose of that?
I don't know.
I thought
It's
that
just
was funny
talk. It's not
pictures.
really ever... I mean, it's nothing.
Doesn't seem to fit there.
I know it does.
I really like that. He was like, cause he's like, oh, it doesn't seem to fit there.
Does it?
So what were you trying to do with all this?
Nothing.
What were you going to do if you had showed up here and a girl was here and I was not? What would have happened?
Probably a whole lot of nothing.
A whole lot of nothing.
I think a whole lot of nothing is honestly correct. Jeff seems a little like really shy to try and be forceful. Like, even on top of that, if some young girl did believe his garbage ass editing and he's walking in looking like that, she would have kicked him out. And let's be real, if he gets kicked out, he's not gonna be real aggressive of be like, oh, I'm not leaving. Like, I highly doubt he would have been extremely resistant. I mean, not that it would have mattered. It would have been immediately wrong and illegal in the first place, but I highly doubt he would have completely gone through with it. Not that I'm saying it was moral, but he was... I don't think he... if there was resistance, he would have left, I believe.
Maybe a kiss or two, but probably wouldn't go far.
And then he immediately turns around and said, oh yeah, just a kiss or two. It's just like, oh yeah, a whole lot of nothing. Oh, maybe just a kiss or two. Still illegal.
Did you bring condoms with you tonight?
No, didn't plan on it. Didn't plan on doing that.
Did you bring alcohol in your car?
No.
You're sure?
Yeah.
Go
Yeah,
search
check
your
my
car.
I don't care. There's no alcohol in my car.
But after all this sex talk,
It's just talk to me.
all this graphic chat,
It's,
you expect us to believe that you had no plan
Nope, I didn't.
of having sex
No
with
plan.
this girl?
No, really, I didn't. Didn't bring alcohol. I didn't bring drugs. I didn't do anything.
Bringing alcohol and bringing drugs, or not bringing them, does not make you a saint. does not change your situation drastically.
Of that.
Yeah, but what you're saying now conflicts with what you said online.
It's online, though.
So you just made it all up. All
Yeah.
play, all chat.
So you just made it all. I love how you like. I don't even know how to say. It's like derisive or like, but like final. He says it. So he's like, so you just made it up. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just made it up.
The difference is, Jeff, you showed up.
I didn't know it was wrong to show
And
up.
that shows intent to follow up on what you...
It's still wrong, even if there was no sex talk. He even said in person that he would show up and maybe ask for and try and get a few kisses. That alone, I believe, is immoral.
talked about over the interview.
I didn't know that was... I wasn't intending to do it. It's just talk to me.
Just talk.
Hmm?
Do you do this all the time on the internet?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes.
Are you addicted to the internet?
No.
Ooh, now that's a blast from the past from early 2000s. Are you addicted to the internet?
How often do you talk on it?
I don't know. Every day, maybe?
Every day.
It's funny back then, being on the internet every day was like, oh, you're strange, you're kind of weird, you're on the internet every day, you're on that weird stuff, man. Now it's like there's so much more, so much stuff to do on the internet. You could go on it every day, and it's not that weird. For your job, you might go on it every day.
It's just talking. I don't see the internet and real life are two different things. What says on the internet doesn't mean that's what I really think.
Now I believe his main excuse is shifted. It was not remembering. Now he's saying it's fantasy. He's saying like, oh yeah. But remember before he was saying, I don't remember the age. I don't remember saying this. And now he's saying it's all fake. He made references, but now he's taking back his old, all in, and he's pushing the rest of the chips he had in. he has his back against a wall here.
Well, that would be easier to believe, Jeff, if you didn't show up here tonight, where you thought a young girl was home alone.
No, I really didn't. Well, I knew she was alone.
Why would you be here?
I mean, I knew she was alone, but that didn't mean much to me.
I knew she was alone, but that didn't mean much to me. That is a terrible thing to say in your situation.
You're an adult, she's a child.
Okay?
That right there. I feel like that is a nail in the coffin right there. He says, you're an adult and she's a child. He stops and thinks and says, okay. Now that I think is a really big turning point at that point where it's like you kind of screwed yourself really bad by saying okay to that. You've now lost all of your chips. Gone. You're all out. That's it.
There are laws protecting children.
Okay.
Do you get that?
Yes.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you get why teen girls at a certain age cannot give consent? Legally.
Legally.
Okay. So you understand why there's a problem here?
Yes.
Okay. So what do you think should happen to you?
I really don't know.
Of course you don't know. You just don't want to say it because that means accepting the reality that's coming. Well, you don't know it's coming, but you probably can make an educated guess based on the man who comes out of the back in a suit and asks you all about your sexual related questions on the internet with a minor. You can probably guess what's going to happen next.
Why don't you help me out here?
I mean, I'm sorry if all this happened. I'm sorry all this. It's really a misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding.
I really did not intend on anything, really. Maybe meet to her, talk to her.
Did not
come
really
on.
intend anything.
You know what
really.
you
But
said.
I don't know what I said on there.
Notice the change in pitch. It has gone up. It has not gone down. It has increased.
But that's what I'm saying. It's just talk to me.
Jeff, do you ever watch television?
Now comes the downfall of Jeffrey Douglas Stacy.
Sometimes.
You ever watch Dateline NBC?
No.
I'm Chris Hansen, and I'm a reporter for Dateline NBC. And we're doing a story on adults who try to meet teens on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
If there's anything else you'd like to tell us,
He doesn't even react to the cameras. He didn't even look. Like, he's just staring at Chris.
we'd like to hear it.
Like, look at him.
If
He
not,
didn't even
you're
move
obviously free to walk out
whatsoever.
that door.
Look at the boom mic. Look how close he's getting within literally like 2 feet of his head. This guy's great. He's like, yeah, taste the boom mic, asshole. Look, he has to walk around this guy. He has to walk around him. But also, look, look. He says, "You're free to go," and keeping the jacket on. We referenced that before. We didn't know why. We know why. He kept it on. It was a tactical decision to save him mere moments leaving the house. He look. He would have had to have gotten up and put his jacket on, which would have taken at least 5 seconds. He wanted to get out of there as soon as possible. Truly a speedrunning champion. All right, so that's it. That's that's all we got for today. Sorry for the lack of uploads, and yeah, so I might try and make it a bit more consistent. I've been moving, so that's why for a bit I haven't been active, and also I've had other stuff going on. But yeah, it's been nice to finally make a video and finally make a bit more content. So yeah, it's been great making a video. Thank you for you new subscribers, and once again, thank you to HeelGoth. See y'all later.